Or sometimes. Everybody, welcome to Spill the Immunity. We're a little late today. It's all right. It's all good. We got lost at the sanctuary. And that's the story, and that's what we're sticking to. Hey, everybody. We are getting down. We all have one person left on our draft team. It's looking strong for you, Brandon. Very, very, very strong. What do you think about this episode?
Yeah, a lot of things that I did not think that would take place because I don't think it's best for everybody's game, but we're not playing the game. We don't understand the emotions of relationships taking place in front of strategy. We don't understand why grandmother's voice didn't speak any louder to Soph while she should have taken the idol of Rizzo, and we would have a completely different season. It's not that the season's bad like I see on a lot of different social media platforms. I think it's just that it is not going the way I think it should go. I don't think smart decisions are being made, but it doesn't make for a bad season. Alex?
Yeah, I mean, no one's playing like legendary moves. You know, Savannah and Rizzo, they don't even need to do anything legendary because everyone else is playing so scared. And, you know, this episode you just saw is like everyone just like failed, you know, except for Rizzo. I guess Rizzo kept his idol and stuff. But I mean, it's just another big, like, you know, disappointment from, you know, this alliance that was totally in control, and they just gave the whole game away to Rizzo. And it's like 2-man, you know, I guess, you know, Soph is included in that. But as you saw on this episode, she isn't really isn't the one, I guess, getting credit for it. Or I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, Rizzo and Savannah are playing a good game. But you could say that Rizzo told Soph, so it was Rizzo's mistake, but the egg is on her face. So it's not really, I don't think it really counts as Rizzo or Savannah's mistake because Soph made the incorrect decision for herself. She could have stolen Rizzo's idol. Given, like, I totally agree. It's like, you got to listen to Grandma. You got to go more cutthroat. But I think the margaritas and the tacos got to her. And she,
absolutely.
She was comfortable.
Well, I think I totally think that there was so much dumb going around in this episode that it was ridiculous. First of all, is this the first time you've ever played or seen Survivor? Is this your an idol is valid until till you get to 5.
Right.
5 every freaking time. Have you never seen? Oh, it's done at 6. Oh, well, this is my first time knowing anything about Survivor. No, you guys are supposed to be. You should know how the game is played. Like, this isn't rocket science, Steven. It's first of all, you know, no, and it just, but the whole thing. I don't know why they would ever believe that was what it is. There have been things that have stopped at 7, but not 6. Like, it's either 7, maybe sometimes on a maybe on an advantage, but 5 is the place where idols stop being like the last chance to use an idol. So whatever was going on in their little pea brains, I am so sorry. I am so mad at the stupidity level. Are you that hungry and tired and cold that first you're in Fiji? How cold can it be? And second, what are you doing? Like, this episode, it just made me angry. Maybe I just came at it because I was already in a bad mood, had a rough day yesterday when I watched it, and I was just kind of grumpy about the whole thing. And then I just saw,
did a rat sneak up on you at night and headbutt you?
That is exactly what it was. Yes. And then the spider that, you know, that huge spider, here's the deal. You should know the game better. You should see the game better. I know they may not see how the writing is on the wall like all of us do with Rizzo and Savannah. We get that. Sophie, you're just along for the ride. You're fun, but you don't stand a chance. Everybody, like, we all see that. But it's, they've kind of had these good ideas and then they never follow through. If you can't get Savannah, you get Riz. This is Survivor 1-on-1, 101, and I just don't understand why they are playing it so badly.
Yeah.
I'm a little pissed about the whole thing. I'm disappointed in Sage and Christina and even Steven on this whole thing. And Sophie had her chance. This was the last chance to do anything with these people. Now it's kind of a done deal. And, Savannah probably will win the next immunity challenge. Riz has his idol, which we all know is good. And Sophie could be collateral damage. That's the only change I see coming, is that Sophie could end up being collateral damage and being the one out.
Yeah. Yes. You said a whole lot there, a lot to report on. Loving the show from our friend Tats. First thing I wrote down about this episode was Rizzo's idol lie. And they kind of front loaded the show saying, hey, this whole Rizzo's idol lie thing of, hey, I have it. Am I going to play it? Am I not going to play it? And then he throws in this whole, it can be played at 6, no longer available at 5, which is huge because I don't think he told anybody that. So the thing that Soph had that she should have kept to herself and not let that margarita slow her down, and kept that secret, play it for Rizzo's idol, take out Rizzo during this challenge. The very thing that Soph had on everybody was completely diminished. And Rizzo adds a point for lying to, I think, even Savannah and Soph, saying that, hey, I have an idol good for one more day. And he is risking it for the biscuit. It is a smart decision if, in his mind, he believes that if you get second place, you're basically getting last place. So I might as well keep this idol for as long as I possibly can. And now he's in the final 4 with this thing. Smart move on his part. I'd like to talk about Sage a little bit too. But Alex, are we done talking about Soph's goof right now?
Well, I think the big thing around Soph's goof was she knew what the right play was, which was to steal Rizzo's idol. That's, her intention. But she said, friendships get in the way, right? I've been so loyal, and, this guarantees me safety over this risk, which didn't pay out with Steven. And it just destroyed her game. She could never win now. It was their collective mistake. But what you also saw there was Rizzo had the opportunity to play the idol for her, but he didn't. Yeah. And so she saw right there in that moment that goodwill or that friendship doesn't mean anything to Rizzo.
Right. Or not as much as she tried to show them.
Exactly. He would throw her under the bus in a second. He did. Yep. So he doesn't care about her. He's playing 100% for himself. And she's just along for the ride, like Bree said. So that was really disappointing because I like Sophie so much. Yep. She's so funny. She's so likable. Like, out of everybody, she's my favorite, right? She's like, goofy, Punky Brewster, right? Like, she's really likable. But she's not playing grandma's game. She's playing, like, be nice and be friends with everybody game. She needs to be D. She needs to, I guess D brought the, she needs
the Queen D this, absolutely. And part of this too is the difference maker between getting notes from home and having somebody come to the island. And if anybody from her family came to the island, they would have been like, why the hell are you letting Rizzo keep that idol and you're not stealing that? Like, that's the huge difference between getting a love note from home and getting that emotion in all feels, and having somebody kind of navigate the game with you a little bit to be like, no, you're tired, you're hungry, the tacos weren't enough, the margarita was too much, you need to take Rizzo's idol and get on season 50 with it. Right. I think today we found out, Savannah making a wise choice in bringing both of her friends to the challenge, or to the reward, because that set up her game possibly even more for success. It
didn't hurt at all that Jeff said, oh, and the last person to win this challenge for immunity is the one that went on to win the whole thing, which was D. So like Savannah just thinks she's got the ace on the hole at this point, and she really does.
Up that D Savannah. I think I'm excited to see that connection, Savannah and D, in season 50 for sure.
This episode did actually make me kind of excited for Savannah. Like, I don't really like Savannah, but she is kind of going into like the villain. Like, she's just, she like kind of came out as like, she's badass this season, right? Like, she stood, like, she was rock solid at the challenge, right? She just like she kind of beast moded this whole episode. And
she's impressive.
Right.
She's do I like her? No, I don't. I would I want to hang out and have a beer with her, take her to a spa for the weekend and chill? Nope. Absolutely not. But do I think that she deserves the win at this point? Yeah, I do.
It'd be interesting to see her in season 50 because you have so many, I feel like on this season, you don't have many skilled person, like you don't have like just people who are really skilled at Survivor, right? It's kind of amateur hour and she's just kind of in a league of her own and Rizzo's good at lying. Mm-hmm. And she's not very good actually at kind of playing the game. She's not, she doesn't make people feel comfortable. She isn't disarming. I think she can lie, but she's just very cold, right? And I think when you get into with like actually skilled players, a Poverty, a Sari, people who are actually very skilled at the social thing and can really connect with people, I think she might kind of flounder in that. Because she's just so kind of straightforward and laser focused and asks the direct questions. Mm-hmm. The advantage is that nobody knows how she plays, right? And she can kind of play a little bit lower key, and maybe that kind of aggressiveness comes out later.
I think there's something to be said, though, for somebody who's not Poverty. I think there was a couple players a couple seasons ago that were charming and everything else. And since Poverty won, that kind of does away with people's ability to be charming because they'll be like, oh, you're like Poverty, you won. I think almost helps Savannah in the fact that she's not as charming as a Poverty, doesn't have necessarily the social awareness, that she's not necessarily being humble all the time. Because it allows people to be like, well, I don't know if she's gonna get any votes because I don't know if she's like Christine doesn't like her. So that's my curiosity right now is Savannah, which would usually be the charming social butterfly type thing that would usually get you really far in the game and win this game. Is that kind of benefiting Savannah that she isn't that way? And keeping her in the game a little bit longer, not be seen as a threat in all the different ways, causing her to have to win these immunities, causing her to have to play a little bit more strategic because of that. What do you guys think?
I think she does actually initially come off as kind of outgoing and charming, but then you kind of like get the mean girl coming through and kind of the sternness. So I think initially she probably comes off as charming and likable and stuff like that. And I think you saw that at the beginning of the season. We're like, Savannah's totally going to win. She's like, it seems like she has it all. And then middle of the season, it was like she was, people were kind of against her. They were saying she was a mean girl, all this stuff. And now kind of towards the end, she's getting all this respect and admiration because she's just so dominant. And so,
right. And I do want to give her some credit. I'm proud of how she handled the Sage situation during the challenge. She wasn't being egotistical in my eyes, at least during that challenge. She was really trying to help Sage, not get in Sage's head, even motivated her to stay in it. And at the end, when everybody got a hug from Sage, which we all know that a Sage hug must be authentic, Sage did not hug Savannah. And I think that Savannah kind of took everything in stride, and very well for somebody that is presumably kind of cold and doesn't have that social humility. And I thought she showed it this week.
Yeah, well, I'm not seeing. So I'm trying to look at this from the jury standpoint. Like, who's on the jury? How are they connecting with the jury? What are we giving them? I think it hurts Savannah going into this finale if she has Riz and Sophie sitting next to her. Their games are very similar. They've all made it to the end. They've all been a tight, like tres leches, whatever. And they are this, group together, so it's harder to distinguish their games. I don't know how that. I think that Savannah would have to take out Riz to I don't know, but I don't think she's made it. Savannah hasn't made any real friends that are going to be like, yay. But I also think that if like Steven did make it to the end, people like him enough that they would vote for him. right? Even though he might not have played as good a game as Savannah did, Savannah played a great game, except she didn't work on jury management at all. And that is her downfall. Like you said, her social game is just not good enough to get her. I mean, it's good enough in this season, but if you compare it to these other masterful players, I don't think she's anywhere near a Parvati, because you like her. You like Parvati. You just like,
or even a D. Like, she's not even.
Yeah.
And what I kind of project happening is you'll have. So next Rizzo is going to go through because he has his idol. He'll play his idol. He'll automatically get to 4. I think you will see this like Savannah and Rizzo face off. One of them will go to fire. I imagine Savannah will end up winning the last couple of challenges because Rizzo he's like first out like quite a bit. He's not very good at the challenges at all. It's kind of lanky, uncoordinated. So I feel like he'll get out first, and then he'll end up going to fire. And then I think they're going to vote Sage out next time, go to fire, and then Rizzo will beat Christina. And then you will have the scenario where it's Sophie, Savannah, and Rizzo all in the final. And then you do have like this, who's going to win between Rizzo and Savannah. And it's going to be really close. It'll come down to who can articulate the better game. Which,
it's the Charlie and Maria.
Different about their games for there to even be, right? And I think it'll just come down to likability, right? Which I feel like Rizzo's jury management might be worse than Savannah's somehow. I don't know why, but I just feel like he's just less liked for whatever
I think
reason.
he'll blow it at the when they get to final tribal. I think Riz is just going to be. He is going to be so full of himself at that. And he's going to do the RIZGOD in front of them, and they are not going to be having that.
Oh.
He's been saying that off in his confessionals.
He's been controlled. He's been controlled.
And I think I'm starting to see that arrogance in him show more and more and more. And I like this comment. Rizzo can't keep on punking people at tribal council. Yeah, he's not making any friends. He's not getting any votes that way. None of them have done any management. Sophie actually has done the most management, but she hasn't done enough. It's just, and this is why, we've been disappointed with this season. I think it's had good points and bad points, but I just am not feeling, I was really rooting for Steven at this point in time because he struggled, but he came through, and he thought he had the only thing he underestimated was the stupidity of Sage and Christina. Those two were absolutely ridiculously stupid this week. They made epic failure plays. They took themselves out of the final tribal council by what they did by voting out Steven. That was so incredibly stupid. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it or make it sound pretty and go, well, they just weren't really aware of how much of a threat. I'm not. No, you guys, you were dumb, D-U-M-B, dumb. Sorry. No apology. Sorry.
Hey, I want to know by the end of the show how you feel about things.
Yes, I'm very strongly opinionated
today. You share that with us?
Yes.
That'd be great. I can't. I will put Christina. I love the spaghetti strategy that Steven came up with Christina's game, that here's a plate of spaghetti and it's just all over her face. She doesn't know how to have a filter when it comes to strategy or anything like that. Basically tell them that, hey, I have thought about voting you out very recently, like yesterday or this morning. So sloppy play. Steven didn't really have a good allegiance or anybody to really depend on like Rizzo and Savannah and Soph have. Like, if there is a personality trait that allows people to be like, hey, I want to make sure that throughout this whole entire game, I have these people by me. Savannah, Riz, and Soph had it. They knew exactly who to put themselves with. Steven was kind of fish out of water through some of this process. With Sage, though, I don't necessarily think it was a horrible move for her to blindside somebody. If you look at where she's at, she can't do anything about Savannah again. She thinks Riz God's playing the idol, so the stupidity there, I'll give her the stupid card on the idol. It stays until 5. Yes. She should have known that. But then if you look at that, does Sage vote off a Soph or does Sage vote off a Steven? Soph, she just got done watching her. There it is. Oh, that's beautiful. She just got done watching Soph incorrectly use an advantage. So she's probably like, okay, well, she's not going to win because she hasn't done anything all game yet. She's just been lassoed to these guys. So I think for Sage, Steven was the better choice, unless you throw in the whole stupidity of not knowing when an idol is played. So I will give her half stupid move.
Well,
go ahead.
Comment says, I'm a huge Savannah fan since day one. I'm loving this season. Okay. Yeah, I mean, she's been the favorite all season. The reason that it was, such a bad decision by Sage was they still had an opportunity to get out Rizzo. Do you want to read the last comment? No. Okay. They had the opportunity to get out Rizzo because Rizzo's such a cocky player with the idol. That's what he's demonstrated over all the last tribal counts. He's such a cocky player with the idol. So wouldn't it be maybe wouldn't he, if he was going to play it, knowing that he's probably not going to get votes, maybe play it on Sophie, right? So she's safe. And if it was, so there's this advantage thrown in that they don't really know. So I guess that's the reason why he wouldn't do that. But I mean, I still think of that scenario. You should have played it on Rizzo because there is this chance that he doesn't play it for himself, or it does expire at 5, or he's lying. He's proven that he's deceitful. You have a perfect shot at him. You could have gone to rocks.
Yeah.
Right. So this is where they've all failed to make any big move when they've been in this massive majority this entire time. They haven't just done a single, let's take a big move. Let's try to get one of the main people out. Literally the entire season. Mm-hmm. Like, it's such a crime. So that's why I think the season will get, because there just wasn't anybody who actually tried to make a big move the entire time. Like Jawan was the big move. Like, okay.
Not a big move.
Right. Not a big move.
Newsflash, not a big move.
And a bad move too. Not a big move and also a bad move. So
we saw a hot take from Tats that he thinks that Savannah's got season 50 won as well. I saw a couple of things back. I way too soon, but if that's, I want to hear reasons why you think that a winner is going to win.
Well, they don't know she's a winner.
Season 50. What's that?
They don't know she's a winner.
I think
unless Rizzo tells, right?
I'm going to say I think Savannah wins this season 49. Do I think she wins season 50? I don't think so. I think she's a good player. I think she made a lot of smart moves. Yeah. I don't think she's a well-rounded player, and I don't think she was ever really tested in this game with these other players that she's with. I mean, let's look at, it's just not, there has not been that strategy. We've seen, and that just shows, and it's not against Savannah, but the fact that Riz has kept his idol and no one has tried to flush it, every single player, especially anyone 40 and below, is like, you flush the idol. Like, this is not rocket science. I'm gonna keep saying that because I missed Steven already. And I just think that, it's amateur. It's good amateur, but it's still amateur, right? It's like you've paid $150 for a ticket in the nosebleed seats at a stadium, and you get there and it's a cover band. So
like that.
You know what I mean?
I was gonna go with the whole it's a Hallmark movie type thing.
Yeah.
Where it is a movie, it did make it on the TV. You're still gonna watch, but you already know what's gonna happen. Like, this is a Hallmark movie.
Yeah. So she just doesn't. I don't think she's, and she's doing these back to back. So I think she's gonna get outclassed by some of the people. I saw a report. We heard, one person was saying they think D is gonna be the first one out. Which I think is actually a pretty strong opinion. And I almost am agreeing with that. But I also think, not only are you playing with players that have played before, but you're playing with players who have played a couple of times. Mm-hmm. And they understand what it is to come back.
But it also doesn't help Dee out that she has stayed relevant in the reality world by getting on the challenge and doing a great job there. Yep. So I think she's going to be definitely one of the strongest in almost all capacities. She definitely deserves to be there. Out of all the people that have come back in the last 10 seasons, Queen Dee is the most deserving in my book. So I am excited to see.
Target.
Yeah. Are you guys excited to see Savannah and Rizgod? Because I still am excited to see them, and I still think that they did land in the top. There's 12 that are going to be on. I think they did land in the top 20 of survivors in the past 10 years. So I think it makes sense to me. Are you guys on that train that it makes sense that they're there and you're excited, or where you at?
I think that there probably was better people than them. I mean, it's kind of fresh in the memory, so I can see why. But when I'm looking at season 50, I'm seeing that there is a slight majority and more old school players. And you have, a lot of these younger players coming in. So you have a lot of the older players who are more old school, and then you have a slight minority of younger players. And when I look at like how Suri played Australia versus the world with poverty, it was really about kind of keeping those old, it was kind of like trying to keep, I guess they voted off Tony. So maybe that's not the case, but I just feel like the old school players are going to understand we got to keep these younger people out because it's so obvious that they're going to team up. They're much younger, and you've seen that divide, especially on Survivor, a lot more now that like the older people, they just don't really do well. They get voted off pretty quick. It's like a young kind of game. So that's kind of how I projected. I think Dee might be that person to go off because she is so kind of dynamic and so strong, all well-rounded. So that's kind of what I'm hoping. Wishful thinking on season 50 is that the old school players understand, hey, and that's what I think would be the best type of season 2. I mean, you want to see Coach go far and Ozzy go far, and Jonathan and all those people. Like you want to see them go far. These new school people, you kind of want them to be schooled, right, and be taught a lesson by these legendary players, because the feeling is old school Survivor is better. New school Survivor, it's easy. They're not really playing, and so you want to see that cutthroatness from the old, from the more old school players. Okay, but we'll see if they can keep up. Maybe they're washed. Maybe they're.
So here's my thought on it. First of all, old school, new school, winners go first.
Right.
Winners go first, and they're gonna know the winner of like any season before 49. So they're going to know who is on. They're going to look at each tribe, 3 tribes. They're going to see there's a winner on that tribe. There's a winner on this tribe. So who is the winner? And we know everybody on that tribe because we saw their season except for Savannah. Right. And if Savannah wins, it's going to be obvious to them that she is the these old school players, they look for they're craving information, and they analyze everything, and nothing is accidental, and they have to see through things. They're going to see that they don't know Savannah, that there's a winner on each of the other tribes, and they will know by process of elimination that none of the other people on tribe B or whatever tribe it is, I don't know, I haven't even thought that far ahead, that Savannah has to be the winner. There's a winner on every tribe. And I think that they're going to just be like, we don't even know her gameplay, and she won. Out. Bye. See ya.
Well, that's the first thing I do if I find Savannah. I sit down with Rizgod. We go out for coffee. We might even invite some other players along and say, okay, so what do we tell people really happened on our season? Let's take the fact that no one has seen our season, and let's say you got voted out 5th, I got voted out 7th, and this is how it happened. And let's rehearse to make it seem like we don't have a winner. Now, if they did have a winner on every, so they have Dee come up on the boat and she won, and they have Kyle come, and they're like, okay, well, somebody must have won from your season because they have a winner on each tribe, maybe. I would try to, and I think they both can lie enough. Rizgod for sure can try to figure out a great enough story to say that they placed 5th and 7th place. That's what you do.
Well, also we talked about how there's a slight imbalance, 1 extra old school player versus new school, and all the winners are new school. Dee, Kyle, and Savannah or Rizzo. So that's also maybe a disadvantage on the new schools that they're coming in. But when you saw it on not that American players play anything like Australian players, but kind of the idea, and I think you've seen this on previous seasons when a lot of people come back, is they do try to get out they either get out the threats super early or the threats in the game, which I don't think there's anybody coming in who's like, wow, this person's so threatening versus everybody else, except maybe D. I don't, and I don't know if she'll get along with a lot of the old school players as much, but I do think they'll respect her a lot more than anybody. So the reason that I say that is, just the new school players are coming in with maybe the most targets on them. And the old school players, the target is they're kind of legend, right? And their perceived, stat, so that you just have this huge. Okay, I'm done.
I think D is the most respected of the new school. I think this is really interesting. What Tats was saying here is that the winners do a schoolyard pick for the 3 tribes in season 50.
I would love that. I miss
that. Would be really cool. Here's the only reason I don't know if that's true. And I have no intel on this at all. But I also know that Jeff likes control. So my question, well, because he wants to be in control. Like these tribes are usually put together very selectively. Like they go through, they probably spend a couple of days in a room with pictures, their headshots all over the table, and they're like, all right, who can we put where? And they argue and they like make exchanges, and then they finally come to a conclusion. Okay, here it is. So to give that kind of control over to the players, I would love it, but I don't know.
That'd be an awesome opening.
I got to look into that now. Hey, we got exciting news. We want to share what's happening in season 50 with Spill the Immunity. You may not know this, but we are going to be coming at you in multiple languages. You're going to be able to watch this episode of Spill the Immunity in different languages. So tell me what languages you want. Do you want Japanese, Spanish, Portuguese? Do you want Mandarin or Thai? Maybe French, or we need to do a Swedish one.
Japanese.
Let me know. Japanese. Yeah. Whatever language.
For a friend here.
Yeah, let us know what language you want this episode to come at you in, and we're going to pick the top 5. We might do more, but we're going to start with the top 5, and every episode will be translated and put on YouTube so you can watch it in whatever language. And if you want more behind the scenes, I'm very
You serious? Brandon, you're going to be in
I believe it, but I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, I just watched their English version. Now I'm going to watch it in Japanese. And like, know nothing about Japanese.
But we'll be the only podcast that's translating all of our episodes into multiple languages so that more fans can get in on a podcast about Survivor. I think it's exciting. I want to try. I think it'll be a lot of fun. We're going to go global. Woohoo!
Wow. Spill the Immunity versus the world.
That's right.
I love it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. That'll be starting. We'll probably do our draft and our first couple episodes before the season actually starts, because it is a big thing. So we'll probably start the beginning of February, and you'll start seeing those episodes. And I'm excited for that. I can't wait. Everything will be in that language, from the title to the description to us talking. It'll be our voices in different languages. And I'm excited for that. So I wanted to announce that.
I love
That's coming in season 50. We're going to make it. It's going to be a big season 50. We might as well make it big for us as well. So
love that. Amore. Is that love? I don't know. Should we do our predictions?
We got one episode left. It's the last. Next week is it. It is the last episode of season 49. We will crown a winner. Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. I guess so. Yeah. Final 5.
Yeah. Final 5. We are done next week. It's going to be an extra, the episode will be extra long. So we'll be extra tired and extra behind on everything that we're doing, but we are going to try to do all the fun stuff. Can you imagine us doing like reels in different languages too and putting those out everywhere? That'll be hysterical. I'm really excited about this.
So my whole, watching Survivor last night, we had a call last night, so I couldn't watch it live. And then I'm trying to watch it, right? And they put it on CBS.com like at midnight Eastern, or they're supposed to. So they don't release it. I pay for Paramount Plus. Okay.
It was a rant.
You can't watch it on TV. It's like, I don't have CBS. We don't have it. So I'm waiting on CBS. I'm refreshing the page. I'm going to the Paramount Plus app. I'm refreshing that. And it's like midnight. Still doesn't go on. 12:30. It's still not on. So I go into the app on my phone, CBS app on my phone, and it's on the app, but it's not on the website. I'm like, what? So I had to stream it from my phone to my computer so we could watch it. But I just don't get it. Like, they make it so difficult to watch Survivor. And then you can't watch Australian Survivor. So just the streaming issues with Survivor, it's not. Yeah.
Maybe I should translate it for CBS and say, hey, you could have this in multiple languages. Let me do it for you, and offer my translation services to them. And we could have Jeff saying whatever he says.
You guys watch The Amazing Race? It's right after Survivor.
Yeah,
I don't. I
haven't seen this season.
No, you haven't. Okay.
Yeah. Can we choose like our voice? Like, can I be like Antonio Banderas in Espanol? And then can I be?
You're like Antonio Banderas now.
Oh,
yeah.
Stop it right now. You stop it. Heartwarming. That was good.
That's right.
I am Antonio Banderas.
There you go.
I'm going to have to translate this part right here.
I want to see what that sounds like in Spanish. Okay.
For you.
Predictions. I was very wrong because they were very wrong. So I'm going to assume that they're going to be very right in what they should be doing in this next episode. Savannah's winning out. She's winning every single challenge. Maybe not. I shouldn't say every. She's going to win top 5. She goes on. They take out. Gosh, who do they take out? Probably Soph. I'm gonna say Soph. I'm gonna say take out Soph. And then Sage wins. ImmuniTEA, she tries to get out. I'm gonna go with that. She tried to take out Savannah in the top 4 in a fire making. Savannah wins that as well. So then they vote out. I would think they would have to vote out Riz God right there, and we have a Maria Charlie thing. So I'm gonna go with that because that's what should happen. And so then it's Christina, Sage, and Savannah at the end. I'm gonna go with Savannah. I feel very wrong, but I feel like that's what should happen. And so
that's really bold.
I'm gonna go with it.
It's really bold.
Bold prediction.
I'm in.
I don't even know I don't even think it makes sense because Rizzo is gonna get to 4 and he's gonna have to go to fire, right?
Rizzo goes 4, maybe. Maybe Savannah and Rizzo go to fire.
Right. That's what we all hope.
Yeah.
Okay. My prediction is next vote is Sage. Then you do have a face-off at 4. And the only 2 big players who are willing to make a move at all is Savannah and Rizzo. But I don't think Savannah will do it. I think Savannah's going to win. I think Rizzo might be put up to fire, but I think he's going to go against like Christina or so. I think Christina's going to end up going to fire with Rizzo, and Rizzo's going to beat her, and you're going to get the final 3. And it's going to be this epic showdown between Rizzo and Savannah going back and forth. And for whatever weird reason, Savannah wins. Who knows why? But I mean, that's kind of what I'm projecting is that next vote is Sage, 100%. And then you'll have Rizzo go to fire, or maybe even Soph go to fire. Because Savannah might not want to put Rizzo up because that's another notch in his belt. So they put Soph up against Christina in the fire making challenge. And then I think who knows? Who knows out of those 2? But I would project Christina would likely go home in a fire making challenge versus Sophie for whatever reason.
Okay.
She kind of is choke artist, right? Like spaghetti all over her face.
I just don't see anybody putting her up to fire. Like, I don't see the reason behind it.
Like I said, Savannah doesn't want to give Rizzo another move, and Rizzo doesn't want to give Savannah another move.
So they put her up against an easy.
They put it up so both of them don't really have anything on their resume. Okay, they just went to fire, and they you know, because Savannah and Rizzo want to keep their games as similar as possible.
Yeah. I guess I'm still not sold on the Sage Savannah thing is over yet, and that's what I'm hoping that there is some closure in some way to that. And that's how I maximize closure, is sending Sage winning, sending Savannah out just to lose to her again, and that's what happens. Bree,
that would be really funny.
That would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the Riz and Christina fire making challenge. I don't think Savannah or Riz would put Sophie up there for fire making. I just don't think that they would. I don't think they feel like, I think that they think Sophie needs something in her game, and so they would never risk putting Sophie up for fire. So I think Riz will take out Christina. I think Sage does go home. And I think, you know, here's the thing about Savannah that a lot of people don't know. I think she's going to share, you know, she did have a lot of really tough things going on in her life, and she's been through a lot, and a lot of that hard, tough outside like facade that she puts on, all of this negativity, and the way she's so direct. I think it's a protection thing because of just all the things that she's been through in her life. And she felt like that she had to do that to get to where she is, because she was such a target. And y'all are buying this shit like you're giving Savannah the vote, and I'm not even Savannah. I see you guys. No, Savannah's going to win because she's going to play that card. She didn't have a tough life. No tougher than Rizzo. No tougher than Sophie. But she's going to get in there. She's going to say this thing. I know I was tough. I know it was hard. Y'all were doing this as I was saying that. I'm making it up. I have no idea what I'm talking about. You bought into it. And that's what she's going to play at the end to get all the votes to win over Riz, who's going to come in arrogant. I'm telling you.
Okay.
That's what I'm going with. You guys were all bought into it. Yep. And that's what I'm saying they're going to do too. She's going to play that at Final Tribal, and everyone's going to be like, oh, I was so hard on Savannah, and she's just been through so much, and she did such a good job. She deserves my vote. And Riz is going to be like, all right, ZGOD, let's go. And everyone's going to be, no, you're annoying. We just want to stick a sock in your mouth and make you be quiet.
I don't know. The way that you just did it, I want to see you do it again. So I don't want Riz to do it one more time. So are we locked in on Savannah, everybody?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, yeah.
Okay.
I think you're right about that, Bree, though. Like, Savannah is going to pull out the waterworks and is going to say, it was like Yellow Sophie said, it's, you know, basically like, don't be people's friends now and apologize after you win $1 million. Right. So she's going to go to the end, and then she'll apologize, and she'll be, you know, kind to everybody and really nice and really happy because she got what she wanted.
I think Savannah will be colder than Riz got in the final. If they are, I still don't think Rizzo makes it. But and I think Savannah's coldness and strategy mind will give her the vote over anybody who's going to go touchy-feely on this final three. So that's, and again, a perk to Savannah's game.
And that's what we've got here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Throwing it back to you in the studio, Brandon. That's what she's going to do.
I hope so. And I'll be... I hope so.
Well, that's our predictions. We got one more week of this silliness, and then we're going to be taking a break for the holidays. Coming back strong in February for our season 50 kickoff in multiple languages. And I love spending this time with you guys. We've had great comments today. Thanks for playing along and hanging out with us. We will see you next time. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Brandon. Any parting words before I hit that end button?
Sayonara.
Au revoir.
Bye. Toodles. Ciao.